All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the alaracanfieldshow, the Awaken to Happiness Now global series. Thank you so much for being here with us today. If you are new to the show, new to the YouTube channel, please do subscribe. Please do like, etc. And we have live shows normally Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. This week it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just so you know. And it is my deepest wish, desire, and intention to be of service to you, to bring you tools, resources, techniques, people, support, so that you can thrive, so that you can be more of who you truly are, know who you truly are, and create your life with ease and grace. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining us. And today, my good friend Marlenea Johnson is back with us, and we're going to be talking about how to break free from energetic cords now, or breaking free from energetic cords now. So some of what we're going to discuss today is going to be, we're going to learn how powerful energy cords really are, how they are showing up and presenting themselves in our lives. We're going to learn the real reasons why you can be doing all kinds of healing practices, all the right things, and it starts to work, but never produces the expected results you're expecting, and what steps you can take to quickly untangle from the energetic termites secretly siphoning you. So today, and we're also going to be taking live caller questions, of course, and Marlenea is going to be gifting us all with a new prosperity booster. Who does not need more prosperity at this time, right? So for those of you who don't know Marlenea, she's been on our show many times before, and we always have a wonderful time. It's a high vibe call. And so today she's back with us, and she is a self-made millionaire. She is internationally known as a master manifestor and your dream life activator. And you'll find her speaking on global platforms, hosting her own radio show, producing music, teaching and training individuals and large groups of people daily. She's helping thousands of conscious beings manifest the life of their dreams through an array of her golden key energetic processes. And Marlenea has assisted over 20,000 people worldwide. She meets them on the level they are at and elevates them at the speed they are ready to experience, right? The goal is to empower them to easily manifest their heart's desires and thrive, living a life of infinite possibilities. So I'm so glad that Marlenea is back with us today. Marlenea, welcome back to the show. So glad you're here.
Hi, Alara. It's awesome to be here today. The energy is shifting, as we know. We are in March, and March is a month to march forward. So a lot of people, maybe starting last month, are experiencing a lot of things coming up in your emotional state, right? And it is coming up to be cleared, all right? It's showing you like certain fear, certain aches and pains just out of the blue, you know, things like that. People calling you that you haven't heard from and you don't want to, or something like that. Just experience what you're experiencing and know that is coming up. It's showing you this is one of the main things we want to clear. So the universe shows up and it wants to clear something. So it will keep coming, you know, like, ouch, there's pain. Oh, I keep banging my foot. Oh, you know, something like that, constant, until you realize, hey, why am I keep doing this or experiencing this suddenly? It's showing you time to heal this. Let's get rid of that so we can solve this, you know. And I think maybe a couple months ago, I started getting the downloads about these entanglements and being tangled up in certain things. And I thought, oh, what an awesome package, right, to bring forth. And I was getting real heavy, deep dreams. And I'm like, oh, and I'd have to get up and write notes about it and download MP3s. And I'm like, these are powerful. And I'm sitting there making notes. I've got 3 notebooks full of all these notes about, you know, what we're talking about today. And I had to condense it down for an hour-and-a-half call and make the notes so everyone who listens to this call and the replays on YouTube could understand it at their levels too, you know, because I was getting it at high level where I had to ask, what is that? Let's go through that again. Explain that to me more deeply. And it would come back and do it again. And I'm like, right. And even today before the call, I was getting more information. So I was jotting it down and I'm like, wow. So this could, you know, like expand into something larger that I have to bring forth. I don't just sit down and record things and say, oh, let's make a program for people. I wait until, I start getting the information. I'm very intuitive, so I can tune into, an area, a house, a person, an animal, whatever it is, and read their emotional story like a book. And, you get hooked sometimes, like we're talking about, you get hooked into energy fields. And the thing I was saying, okay, so like how powerful these energy cords really are, right? Should be the first thing we talk about, because everyone has heard about energy cords, all right? But they didn't get the full information about them. So we were taught to cut the cords with that person. Let's do that activation and cut those cords. And they showed me two people, like a male and a female, because most people will understand it by relationships. They showed me, okay, Archangel Michael has a sword and he comes and does what we asked, cut that cord off of so-and-so and me and vice versa. And then he said, but look, and I was looking and I said, oh, wow. So we're cutting the cords off, but we're not cutting the cords that were in. So just say you have a cord in your arm and it's corded into the other guy's arm. So we're coming and we're cutting at the surface, right? So we're cutting the cord, and I'm saying, but there's still a, like a cord in there, like the knob to it, and I was like, how do you get that out? So then we went deeper. So that's where we're going today. We're going to show you basically how these cords work and what we can do, what we need to do to get rid of some of this. But some of these cords here, as we all know, they're obvious cords. Like we have cords with our parents, our family. We have energy cords to our DNA, and we can have hereditary cords, karmic cords, right? Environmental cords, cords to our money, cords to our health, cords to relationships. We have emotional cords, belief system cords, patterns. There's cords to, like our empathic cords. We can have psychic cords. We can have past life cords. So all of these cords, just think about how entangled we all are, right? And you sit there and you do, whatever you can, and you're like, cut these cords from that person or that job or whatever it might be. And you're wondering why you still feel connected to that, or, things start, happening for you and then they stop. So I was like, this is interesting. So I'm looking at the cords, like we can't do anything about hereditary cords or DNA cords, stuff like that. But there are ones that we can do. And I was like, thank you. You can't change the day you were born, right? You can't change the way the way you're shaped. You can exercise and all that, lose weight or whatever, or get some muscle. That's okay. But, if you're 5'1", you're not going to be waking up tomorrow at, 5'7". You know what I mean? So you have to love yourself, number one, and love yourself so much that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's the first thing. When you look in the mirror, you say, I am beautiful. I am worthy. Exactly as I am. That starts the healing, right? So the second thing that came to me was like, how are some of these like energetic cords actually showing up, presenting themselves to us, all right? So I wanted to like make notes about that and how they playing out in our lives, all right? So I was looking at my own situation and a lot of my clients, and I'm like, a lot of these are cords. So like if you're, in your family, all right, you might have similar things happening to you in your life, and they might be time released. All right. Everybody in the family at 40, gets this, or, suddenly does this or whatever. That can be a cord. Okay. And it's like a pattern cord. And then you might see a lot of negative cycles playing out. So, you might be going along and all of a sudden this negative cycle shows up and you're like, not again. You know what I mean? So it's similar. It keeps showing up, and you did a lot of work on it, and it's like, here again, it could be gone for 2 years. And then all of a sudden it's like, hello again, I'm still here. You're still corded into me. I thought I'd show up today. That's the time when you're like, ugh, it brings your vibration down. You can feel stuck. All right. These are the ones that people don't think as cords, but these are cords. So feeling stuck, confused, worried, anxious. You could be in pain or sudden pain. You could be sick, feeling restricted. You're on edge all the time. You suddenly feel fear, or you have fear all the time. You could get brain fog, have money problems, relationship issues, fear of change, fear of abandonment, fear of moving forward, fear of seeking help, fear of speaking up. There's all kinds of these things, but they're not all emotion. They're emotional cords, a lot of them. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing news. So I have to write all this down. There's 110 of these that they gave me. So I shrunk them down to the ones that we usually talk about on summits, or you hear about them. So I'm like, can you imagine that fear is a cord? And I'm sitting there going, wow, it just amazed me. But in my family, they had a worry issue. So I am worried all the time. I'm like, what am I worrying about? I'm not worried. I'm happy, and you always feel that worry is hanging on you. That's a cord. And I'm like, let me work on that thing. Get rid of it. Oh, where's it come from? So I was deeply going into, like everyone else on this call, going back and trying to clear the, belief systems and the family patterns, and using every modality, and I'm like, it's still here, then I was like, oh, it's a cord. Let's get to the root of this. So I'm a root worker, I want the root out. And so a lot of my clients were coming with whatever issues they had, and we would do some work, and they would be shocked. They're like, wow, I was in therapy for 20 years and I never felt so good in my life, because I'm working at the root. I want to get it out, and get it ended and done, and not to show up again. So I've had amazing testimonials where people were not able to walk. They walked across the room. I was on a live call, about 2 years ago, and I was doing my sound bowl healing, and a lady caller was on, and there was a young kid and someone else living in this small apartment. And the lady had COVID. And when I was doing the sound bowls, her lungs just cleared right up and opened. So miracles happened. And the young kid was 8 or 9. And the kid comes on and says, hey, I don't know what happened, but when you were doing that, my whole body shook and my chakras cleared. And I don't even know what chakras are. And I'm laughing. I'm like, you do now. So we had things like that. I've had people get free cars, free homes, money, trips, you name it, it shows up. It's like, yay, that's what we're looking for. The things with families not talking to each other, a lot of rivalry going on, fighting, arguing, not talking for 20 years, blaming each other. And we would clear all that in 1 or 2 sessions back then. And they would contact me like, you won't believe it. My father called me after 25 years. And he told me he just bought me a house. He paid everything off. And, I'm like, wow. And that person was just about to lose their place they were in. So some of this stuff is like, wait a minute, we got to adjust all this for you, and then we can put you there. So it's like, oh, amazing. I don't know how many people on the call have ever had like what we want to call a breakthrough or a miracle, but when it happens, you should write it down. Write down the date, the time, you know, and that way when you're going through these little lull times when you don't feel like anyone cares, the universe is against you, you know, you're backed against the wall, look at that little miracle booklet. Write a little notebook down, like I'm happy and grateful. I'm on this call today. I'm happy and grateful for all the times I had that were good. Write them down. And also, this is a funny one, be happy and grateful for the times when, you know, something happened that wasn't so much fun, because that's bringing you forward to your next level. So in March, like I said, we're marching forward. We're not looking back. There's no past. The past is gone. We can't change it. All right. We don't want to. It brought us to where we are right now. We are not going to go into anxiety, looking at tomorrow. What will happen tomorrow? Well, that's anxiety. So that's a chord to, you know, fear and anxiety and worry. And boy, I had that my whole life. So I said, wow. And people would come up to me, how can you be so happy? You know, and I'm like, I don't know. I got this joy when the angels came to me and just sprinkled this golden stardust on me. And I'm like, wow, I woke up and I was in a house full of narcissists, we'll call them, argumental people, alcoholics. They wanted to beat each other up, you know, abusive and neglectful. And it was awful, chaotic. And I'm there in this room and I'm the light in the dark house. And you know what it's like. When you're the lighted one, boy, do they come at you. So I was getting all that, you know, you don't belong here. We don't want you, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, I'm here to shine the light on your darkness. And so, you know, I woke up that day and I'm like, wow. So I couldn't stand any negative talk around me after that. Before I was like, we're used to it, you know, just put up with it, you know, don't say nothing, just hide it in your room. And, you know, that's what I was doing. I was hiding, afraid, you know, scared, worried, when they're going to come in and hit me again or whatever. And once that happened, I became strong. I got my empowerment back. You know, I'm like, oh, this feels better. And I went outside and I was dancing and skipping and singing songs. And I'm like, wow, you know, and people said to me, how come you're the only normal one in your family? And I looked at him, I said, what is normal? Can you explain to me what normal is? Because I didn't know what normal was. What are you talking about normal? You know, and it just made me feel better. You know, I'm like, I'm normal. So I wrote that down, you know, I'm normal. I have a sign on my wall over here that says I'm special. I put little notes up. I've got the word joy on my wall. I've got things like, you know, powerful energy only, and it's right at the front door. So when people come in, they are reading all these positive signs, notes. It's great. I'm like, oh, and then they come in, they're like, wow, your house is airy. And, you know, I feel the energy in it. I say, yeah, because I did a lot of cleansing and purifying and shifting things around. We get corded into our homes, our environment, our neighborhood. So we want to, you know, talk about a lot of that stuff today, where we can clear some of those cords. Like, why are we worried about what the neighbors are doing? They're making noise. It's bothering me. You know, I get here in this house, it's funny, people knocking at my door and they're like, the neighbors are making noise in the back. Can you do something about it? They come and know that I can move the energy. It's so funny. I never said a word to them. They're just showing up at the door and I'm laughing. I'm like, if they only knew, you know. So I'm like, this is a gift you have. You have like an aura around you. So people on that level are drawn to you. So if you're in fear cords, we'll say, you get a bunch of people showing up and they're full of fear, you know, people that are on your same income level, they're your friends. Look at your income right now, right? Who are you hanging around with, right? So that's the thing, right? You find yourself in certain income brackets, maybe income brackets in the jobs that you get, you know, if you get a raise, you're like, oh man, I don't know. And then you waste the raise. You go out and spend it because you hit that ceiling. And then people are like, why is my money always disappearing? Something breaks. I got to fix it. So we want to heal that, right? We want to smash through that glass ceiling, knock it down and dissolve it, because I don't even want to see the glass broken on the floor, right? Under your feet. All right. I want it to dissolve. All right. So that's what I do with the root. I get to that root. So how many people on this call know that they have an issue in their life? All right. Think about that main issue that's bothering you right now. Whatever it is, it could be a person, it could be a, thing, a place, whatever. If it's relationships, if it's your finances, if it's your health, think about that one thing. All right. That's a cord. Now, who are you corded into? Right? Why are you corded into that? Right? Why can't you get rid of it? So we're into that kind of pattern today. We want to start working on that pattern. All right. A lot of calls you come on and they're like, oh, we're going to talk about clearing your karma. Well, that's good. All right. We cleared some karma, or we cleared some energy, but we want to get to the root. Why do I have that karma? Why is it here? Right? Why did I ever get it? Who gave that karma?
So I just want to say, if you would like to work with Marlena, or if you have a question for Marlena about chords, your specific chord, etc., you can raise your hand, or you can type your question in the chat if you'd like. So Marlena, we're talking about, you just said to, think of one area where you're having an issue, something's going on. So, for, material things, like people maybe thinking about their jobs or not having enough money, or relationship issues, etc. So when things are not going well in a relationship, for example, what does that mean? That I mean, yes, I'm corded to that person because, they're in my life and I have a relationship with them. So of course I'm corded to them. I'm not sure what my question is around that. I mean, I understand relationships. I understand the house. I understand business. I understand job, right? I understand all that. What about some emotional states? Sometimes people are in despair. Sometimes people feel lost. Could that be a cord as well?
Yes. With relationships, right? We are drawn to our mirror image. Okay. So in my house, I'll give it this example. Okay. My mom and dad were totally opposite, basically. So they fought a lot, and she tolerated. All right. So she was a tolerator. And he left after, so many years. And then 7 years later, he wanders back in, and she lets him in. She was just about to get married. She had 4 or 5 boyfriends, all right, all wanting her, because she was actually, really pretty and everything. And he wanders back in, and he sits in the living room. I'm not kidding you. I'm in my room laughing because this is true. And it has a little bit to do with feng shui too. And I'm going to share it with her after, but her room, we moved into a house and it had 4 bedrooms. So it was great for our family size. So she had mirrors all over the walls. Every wall was mirrors. So it multiplies you, right? It'll multiply your partners. And we don't want that. Thank you. But we didn't know nothing about water and energy and feng shui. We would just move a lot. So she has all these guys after her. In comes my dad 7 years later. His brother dumps him off at the door. And I'm like, oh, she was just going to marry this great guy, and all this. And so I'm in the room and they're all fighting, calling each other names. We're not leaving. Well, it ended up my dad got rid of them all. So he comes back. She tolerates this. 3.5 years of fighting, like nonstop, day and night, because of that. So I'm like, ugh. So I'm watching all this, right? This is love to me. I'm a kid. I don't know. So this is what happens. You feel like, oh, that's love. So you go out, and when you start dating, you don't realize all of a sudden, these people that you are dating as teenagers and grown-ups or marrying, they are mirror image of what we learned. what we experience. We don't know what love is unless we've seen it, right? So I see like TV shows and it's really love. You know, the kids can come and talk to the mom and dad and they all discuss it. I didn't have that in my house. I had, shut up, you're not worth it, get out of my way. So I knew nothing. So now I noticed the guys, well, there was only 2 really awesome ones, but most of them were like, shut up, you know, I ain't got time for you. Then the other ones were coming back and saying, we're hungry, feed us. I was paying for the food. I'm like, because my mom did that. You know, she would be giving away everything. I'm like, oh, and my dad would give away things that we needed, like pots and pans. They were both givers, but they couldn't give to each other. The communication, it was screaming, hitting, yelling, throwing stuff. And I'm like, oh, so when I got married, I married a guy that I thought, man, when I went to their house, they'd say grace, they were wonderful. Marry him, a week later, he's yelling at me, screaming. I'm like, oh, I'm crying at work. My boss was saying, what's the matter? And I told him, and he's like, you only been married a week. I'm like, yeah, you know, and I thought till death do you part. Tolerate, and I tolerated it until he left. And he tried to come back, Alara, and I was in my power. And I said, no, I'm not rewinding the tape that I just went through. And I got strong. And that's why I'm on these summits, because I came out of that kind of cycle. So relationships are what we learned, right? And people will know on this call, we've all been in relationships, all right, romantic ones. We thought they were wonderful until they left us, or we were like, oh my God, I can't be with them no more. I got to get away from them, right? Especially abusive ones. You want to ask, why am I here? And then look back at your childhood. Were you adopted, right? You didn't know love, you know what I mean? Were you beaten up? You didn't know love, right? Was one of them absent? Was one of them like, we ain't got time for you? Or were you loved, you know? So you got to look at that. That's one of the roots where we go to, and we heal them things at the root. And then we can go forward, and our next set of relationships, you are on a different level, a different vibration. So you only attract the next level where you're at. So every level you're at, no matter what level it is emotionally, you know, that's what we're attracting. The emotions, what we're putting out. A lot of people want to make it complicated. It's not. It's not. Look in your life. I mean, the money you make, whatever that is, your income, is it staying? Is it growing? Or is it decreasing? And then you got to do some, hurry up, I need money. Like, you know, so look at these things and then bring them, you know, bring them to a session. Don't be afraid to get help. Don't say, I've got, you know, don't be afraid to say, I need help. I got a problem. You know, I just went to all my neighbors and said, I need help. Give me some phone numbers, you know, and they were right there. They're like, let's go. We were working till 10 o'clock last night to try and fix a problem outside, you know, and then it's inside. We got to fix that to fix the outside. So that's what we're doing right now. We want to fix the inside of us so we can fix the outside. That makes it easy, right? Yeah.
Yep. So Linda, I know, has her hand raised and she has a question. Linda, you want to unmute yourself? Or should I just ask the question?
Yeah. Okay, so
thank you.
Marlena, how do we manage it how do you know if it's like an ancestral problem or not?
Well, my thing now is I'm not going to ask what it is, where it came from, all right, or any of that in a session. I don't need to. It just comes up and we're going to get rid of it. Okay. So ancestral things are, of course, family. All right. Look at your family.
Right. Yes.
Look at your family. Okay.
Yep.
Whatever their traits are, you know, your mom and dad and your siblings. All right. And your grandparents. Okay. You don't know your ancestral lineage. So I'm sitting here going, you know, that's too much work. That was my thing for this package. That's too much work to keep going back to, I have a problem. And I'm like, yeah, there's a problem. It's showing up. So what are you like dealing with that you want to know? Is that ancestral? Is it a financial, a physical, a
Kind of
relationship?
financial, I guess, would be the thing.
Mhm.
I know my grandparents were not very well off, and then my dad really changed that whole dynamics and was better off.
Mhm.
And I'm reaching a point right now where I'm finally being able to invest in something and finally getting some money. But I don't want to really go back to work either.
Yeah, so if you're gonna invest in stuff and finally, see the word finally, I like that
Finally.
word. Finally getting some money. And I don't, you hear that fear coming in? I don't wanna, I don't wanna. So there's a fear. It's a,
Okay.
a chord to fear, right? I
Okay.
fear losing the money. That's the big, I fear losing the money and I'll have to go to work and I don't want to go to work, right? So fear and don't are not positive words, okay?
No,
Where'd you
they
learn
aren't.
them from, right? Where did you learn to fear? Fear of losing money. So you saw your dad, you see, and the
Be able
financial,
to overcome things. He overcame everything.
right? And you saw your dad who had that lineage of, not enough, right?
Right. Right.
Stagnancy, right? Fear of making more money. Because some people have that fear of making more money because somebody's going to come and get it. Well, where'd they learn that from? Right? Way back when. So I'm like, I am not going to trace it back to the great grandfather did this. I've been through sessions like that where people did that to me and I'm like, oh, and then I'm up all night, trying to clear it and wonder about it. So I went, stop all that. It's stress, right? So in your case, when you receive money, all right, you
Yes.
need to first of all, thank you for this money.
I have.
And
Yeah.
whatever amount it is, just say it was, we'll be nice. We'll say $1,000 came. That's good
Okay.
money. All right. That's a
Yep.
good blessing. So you
Yep.
get $1,000 and you're like, oh, I can go buy whatever, which you could, but then you're broke. And then
Right.
you'll be beating yourself up. So what my thing is, and I love doing this, we take whatever income we got and we get jars or envelopes, whatever, right on there. All right. So what is your goal for this year? Would you like a vacation at the end of the year?
Yes.
Think about your goal and say, okay, I'm going to set a goal. Every time I get money, I'm going to take money out of that and put it in this jar. This is my vacation jar. This is my fun jar. This is my emergency jar. So $2 can go in each one. You know what I mean? And then
Sure.
if you needed new shoes, you go buy new shoes, but that's it. Don't become like a shopaholic or oh, I got $1,000 and tell everybody because boy, they'll be over. Let's go to lunch. I'm
Yeah.
hungry. I need this. So any way it could escape you, it will show
Yeah.
up and try. So you
True.
gotta be in your empowered state and say, no, this was a blessing that I, worked on
Received. Yep.
receiving, and I am not going to waste it. So the universe is looking at you going, okay, now, can we trust her with the money, right? We couldn't trust so-and-so. Let's see if we can trust this one. So if your vibration's higher than 0 and it's at 1,000, you'll get 1,000, you see? If they can only trust you with $100, you'll get $100. So they can see what you're doing with it. It's a funny story. They watch us, right? So you
I
got
know.
$100 and you'll say, but I want 200. How come you didn't send me 200? So now you're complaining. Now they'll send you something to take it away. So you
Yep.
really got something to complain about. So I'm trying to, give you a little info here, Linda.
So Marlena,
So-
how do we dissolve these cords that are attached to us so that this does not occur?
Yeah, well, what I just spoke to you is one, mental clarity to get
Right.
into you, number one, to clear up
Okay.
some of that fear. And then we'll talk about a little bit more about what you just asked for, you know, everyone when I get to that point in these
Okay.
notes.
Okay.
So it will be answered and you'll
Okay.
be like, oh, thank you. Because I don't want to like push it aside, but it's very important. And it is actually answered today. So very well.
Wonderful. Thank you, Marlena.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Thank you, Linda. And I think there's Sarah has her hand raised as well. Sarah, you have a question for Marlena?
Yeah, I have a question about the fact that we clear and we clear,
Mm,
we do the work, and
mhm,
I do it most sincerely. I do it 3 or 4 different ways. I feel better, and then it comes back.
mhm.
What is the actual act of clearing that you are doing that would dissolve the energy if, though we have worked at it and, you know, stuff from this lifetime and other lifetimes, like fear of getting out there. Though last night I dreamed I was doing a comedy act in front of 10,000 people warming up for a football game.
Awesome.
Came off really well in the dream. So what is your technique to actually clear it? I mean, is there anything that you can tell me about that? Because I've gone through my trauma. Laura has heard a lot about that.
Mhm.
And really some pretty, I don't want to be cute about it. I went through hell. Uh,
Right. Mhm.
and I would like to let go of all of that. I would like to not feel it. I'd like to have no anger, no fear. I'd like to live in a state of grace. I do the work, not there. What do you have to say?
Well, the first thing is you are allowed to have emotions. All right. And I did a scream therapy with people. I'm like, scream and tell them off. They're not here, you know, act like they are right now. And what do you want
No,
them to say?
I have
So
done that in
that we
front of a
did.
person.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, but yours was showing you a dream last night, right? I'm vulnerable. I'm vulnerable to showing up and speaking on stage and I'm being funny. So it's trying to show you inside of you that you are a comedian, you are funny, and
I
you're
know
not
that.
allowing, right? And you're not allowing it to come out of you and be
No,
in your
that
environment.
that's really not true. When I do
No,
it,
in your house, because you're going, I'm clearing, it's not coming back. All right.
yeah.
So what's in your house that isn't funny? Let me ask that. What's in your house that isn't
I don't
funny?
know. I make my partner laugh all day.
All right, so that's okay. But what is on the walls? Is there pictures of deceased relatives, you know, broken items, anything like that is a bad energy, okay? That's a lot of energy feng shui that I work with. But look around your house later, Sarah, and say, that's got to go. If you don't laugh, if you don't feel joy about that item, it could be a chair, it could be anything, a piece of clothing, get rid of it. Anything that's not bringing you joy that you can physically release, get rid of it. And then, you know, let that space clear. Because I will tell you, in this house, they left all their furniture. I moved it outside and pushed it out the door and put an ad free. They had left a photo on the wall with a note on the back. The guy bought it for his wife as kind of like, I'll get you. He knew she didn't like boats. He wrote on the back, I bought this because I knew it would bother you. Now that energy was in my house. And I had somebody who came here and they said, there is a photo here in this house and the husband bought it for spite. Where is it? I found it. It had exactly what he said. So it's in your house, all right, that you need to clear. That's one of the things I'm picking up. So look around, it could be something that.
And also Marlena just told Linda that she's going to tell us how she does the
Mhm.
cord
Yes.
dissolving in
Okay.
a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to see what's coming up here because there's a lot here, and people, don't be afraid to share this. It's pain, it's stress, you know. We all experience it. It's not a fun trip at all.
Sarah, just
Yeah.
really, just something that just came to me just really quickly. When was the last time that you painted your walls
Mm,
and the inside of the house?
Oh, it's been a while.
see, I'm saying it's in your house, and Alara's picking up paint. Yeah, so
So-
it could be a color.
One of the things with painting is the easiest way to clear energy in the space. And
Mhm,
I mean, I didn't used to believe this either. I'll be honest. It's like, really, painting? But
mhm.
what happens is that the walls, the mirrors, everything soaks up all the negative energy from fighting, from just being sad, from frustration, whatever happens to be, right? The walls and the mirrors soak it up. So if you're not doing a good process of cleaning and clearing the mirrors, especially, it's
Mm.
still going to be there, right?
Okay.
So that's why I'm just saying, when was the last time you painted? If I were to do it, I would do it with like cedar. I'm sure where you are, you have cedar hedges and things like that.
Cedar hedges.
Yeah.
My house is
Cedar?
made of redwood. It's 115.
No, I know. That's not the point. The point is cedar. When you take some cedar and you boil it and use that water to clean the mirrors, that will clear anything negative.
That's great. I will do that. And I thoroughly sage the house pretty often.
Yeah, I see sage does not do anything for me. That's why it's like this is something I learned from my shaman teacher about the cedar. So
That's
it's not
great.
just something I'm making up, it's something it's like, true.
I'll get some cedar as soon as I can.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's another thing you can use is cinnamon, cinnamon and salt. Like salt will help a lot too. So in the meantime, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you, Lara, for that, because
And that's for everybody. It's not
actually,
just for Sarah. So it's for everybody. Yeah.
yeah, I'm actually in the midst of painting in here again. And I did make a video on my new channel, so about exactly what you're talking about, painting the walls and things and clearing energy. But yeah, our house holds all the energy from everyone that ever was there, right? And yeah, the land, the air, the atmosphere, your energy is now combining with all theirs. So how can I clear all that, right? So painting and saging for you, lighting a candle. Some people ring bells, some people, they do chanting or meditating or whatever they do to try and clear it. But you got to remember as well, you got energy from outside comes in. That's how the energy gets in. It comes from outside in, like when you go outside, you feel good, come back in, so that's the thing. You can feel the difference. And then you're like, something's wrong in here, right? I feel great when I go out in nature. I come back in here and I'm like, ugh. Now go into a room in your house where you keep your clutter, right? And you get there and you're like, ugh. Yeah. And you feel the energy go down. Sometimes it's subtle, like Lara was just saying, the paint color. It might be a wrong paint color for that sector of the house. You never know. That's why you want to come and work with me, and I can go, let's do that then. Let's work on doing the house, whatever I pick up, and that root there will clear it. And you'll be like, wow, on to the next thing, what's going on now, and we clear that. We get rid of whatever comes up, and it's not a long process anymore. It used to be an hour and a half. Now it's like 10 minutes. And then we talk, we're like friends. So it clears quickly. It's not a hard thing anymore for me. I used to
Okay.
go,
So stay tuned, Sarah, for when Marlena is going to show us or take us through a process maybe of how to dissolve the cords, okay?
Absolutely. And I've also been lighting candles daily for a couple of months now. So
awesome.
there's something going on. And I do a lot of sound healing, all over the house. So
Yup, that's me. That's me. My sound healing's on. It's not only that, I play like dance music, especially if I'm not feeling, the good energy. I'm
me,
like,
I
dance music,
dance all over
that's
the
it.
house.
That's it. That shifts your energy. Your vibration goes up with
So
music.
you're doing everything right, Sarah.
That's what I said before. So
Mhm.
we'll learn some new things. Thank you. I
Yeah.
don't want to take any more time.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah. All right, we're going to go to Tanya next.
Hello, ladies. Sorry, I'm late. I just came from work. So,
Awesome. So what's your question? Do you even know what we're talking about?
yeah, my question is that I have a strange relationship with money, and it is not developed in this life, I believe, because I had the feeling about money like shame and like
Mm.
very uncomfortable around money since I was a child. Like if I find money, I would be going around and asking people if somebody lost it, and they were looking at me like I'm strange, you know. And I didn't want to take them. So, and I was told recently that I have a lot of resistance toward money. So is it something in my previous life or lives?
Okay.
Or is it
Mm.
something ancestral?
Can I just say something
I-
quickly? I don't care what somebody said. So we're not going to answer that question about
No,
somebody said this. It doesn't matter. So,
Right.
right? Doesn't matter. So is the money issue from a past life? Probably, but that's besides the point, right? The point here is where or how are you corded to this money issue, right? That's what we want to ask. We don't care if it was past life. We don't care if it was ancestral. Really, it's about this is what's happening now, and how can I change it, right?
Yeah.
So
but,
what
yeah,
what exactly is the issue with money? Do you not have enough? Do you have too much? Do people want to give you money and you say, no, 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 thank you, I'm good? What is the
I feel
actual issue with money?
uncomfortable asking for money.
Yeah,
And-
like most people feel uncomfortable asking
Yeah,
for money.
and probably I have like a lot of people who are kind of light workers that I feel like it is wrong to have money.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know I've been working on it.
So
but I
you think a
still have
spiritual person
resentment.
should not have money or should not ask for money? A spiritual person should not ask for money, or light worker or whatever, should not ask for
Exactly.
money for their services. And I agree totally. Like if I have a gift of like, something from spirit that I want to offer people, I offer that freely. But what I'm charging for is not that gift, it's for my time. My
No,
time
understand, yeah.
is precious.
Mm.
Like when you go to the doctor, you don't go free. He's doing he's performing a service, we'll say, right? You go to a restaurant, the server comes out, you tip them for bringing your food, So, what I sense with her is like, I'm afraid to have money. I got to get rid of it. Money's no good, right? So
It's bad to have money.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's one of the beliefs you were, embedded with. So you're corded into that belief. That's a belief pattern. Okay. So, and it's emotional and it's stressful because you have to have money in this lifetime or any other lifetime to, function, pay some bills, eat some food, right? Have some clothes. So that's what we want to, work on with her is, that relationship with money. Money's bad. Why is money bad? Think about that. Money is good. Money is a tool that I can use to live and live more abundantly. Why would I want to live abundantly? Right? Why are you corded into that old negative belief? That's a cord and it's deep rooted. So, a session, these sessions that I'm going to be doing with people are going to clear that like pretty instantly with the new work I'm doing. So you're not the only one on the planet with that issue. Believe me, I have never had a problem with receiving money or giving money with that. So money's always been flowing in and out, in and out, in and out. And I pay, for services.
So can I just ask a question, Marlena? Is it also a deserving thing? Because I'm sure like Tanya, you pay for stuff all the time. You You
Mm.
buy food, you pay rent, you know, like you're spending money, right? So you're giving money to other people. So if you don't want to receive money or ask for money for your services, is it a deserving thing that I don't deserve to have money? I don't deserve to receive money? Is that also
Mhm.
part of it?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah,
It's
I
all in
will
that.
ask, but I will not ask much, you know, but it is probably deserving. It is probably that I don't think that I'm worth to have more or ask for more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you're deserving to have more income. Okay, so that's why I'm asking, why is money bad? That was my question. Why is money bad? Write it down on a notebook and ask yourself out loud after you write it, right? Why is money bad for me? And listen, and you'll be able to fill that whole sheet up.
Hold on. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Yeah, so your belief systems will come out with that pen, right?
Mhm.
So, and then you'll say, oh my goodness, that's my story. I'm not sticking to it. All right. Where did it come from? So that's the thing. We have these stories and, you know, they're negative or they're positive in our mind, right? I could have a story and you'd say, oh, that's wonderful. And I'm like, it is, rah. You know, I don't like that story, but you're like, that's a good story. So, I mean, everybody has a different idea or a belief or a feeling or an emotion to it, right? So some people want 18 cats and another person's like, ugh, you got cats, you know, you love your cats. They don't like cats, you know, same thing for everything in our lives. So someone will say, you got that issue, you know, and now you're up all night worrying about that issue. You know, they didn't clear it. I don't want to listen to that. You know, that's what you got to look at. You got to go, who am I hanging around with now? Right? What are they saying to me? You know, are they bringing me up? Are they helping me? Or are they bringing me to their level of belief? You know, so I have cleared my life of a lot of negative people, narcissists, as people are calling them, whatever, users, you know, abusers. And I said, I'm going to the next level, right? So my parents were abusive. I will get rid of abusive screamers. You scream, you're gone. That's my thing. You want to fight, you're gone. So I don't, you know, hold that cord no more. I don't allow it to cord into me. So there is a deep rooted cord into you, you know.
So yeah, so stay tuned for the process, Tanya, that
Mhm.
when Marlene is going to talk about how to dissolve
Okay.
these cords, stay tuned for
Thank
that,
you.
okay? Yeah,
Okay,
awesome.
thank you,
Thank you.
ladies. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Linda, not Linda.
Hi, yes,
Hi, Linda.
Linda Lee, hi.
Thanks, Linda.
Hi, I have a situation where I downsized to a 500 square foot. I used to live in a 3-bedroom house. Do I have cords and stuff attached to my stuff that I'm having a very difficult time getting rid of stuff? And then on top of it, I had a friend pass away who has a twin sister in assisted living. And I ended up helping her getting her stuff, which ended up with me. And now it's like I've tried to sell it, sell it and get help. I'm overwhelmed with stuff.
I hear you.
And I
hear
would
you.
like to know if I've got cords to it. Is that what's keeping me from selling it or getting rid of it? Or
You want to hear
is there
this?
help? Help.
You want to hear this? You have cords to help. I gotta
Cords.
help. I gotta help. All right. And now you're
Yes,
yelling, help.
that's it.
You
Oh,
hear
you're
your
right.
mirror? You hear
You're
your
right.
mirror? Your mirror is coming out. Help. Help.
It really
The
is.
stuff in the house came with you from your old place. All right.
Yes.
And that stuff was yelling, help, get rid of me, some of the stuff. And you take it with you because you're afraid to part with it. Mommy gave it to me. Uncle Sam
Yes.
gave me this birthday card, you know, 25 years ago. That's old
Kind of
energy.
like that. Yes.
All right. So we start off with putting on dance music. We go, okay, this is clutter. Get a box, get a garbage bag, throw it all in there, right? Throw it outside. So
Okay.
you know, every day do a little bit. All right. So it's not so much. help, I'm overwhelmed with clutter. All right, clutter is bad, okay? Yeah, clutter is, it accumulates and we don't know.
Oh,
Open
depressing.
up open up your dresser drawer. Look at the clutter. How many pairs of socks do you need for 2 feet? I looked at my stuff. I threw out 4 garbage bags of clothes. All right.
Yes, okay,
Yeah.
so now what gets me from the point of, I aware of that, I know that, but what gives me the point, from the point of acknowledge that to actually doing it?
Do we have to come over to your house and yell? Clean it. Clean it. All right. Start cleaning.
Yes, no, I just get, and then I go and sit down or find something else to do.
I know, that's because you're like, I had to help. My mind said to help, so I helped. And it's like, you are corded into help. All right. So you need to get motivated. All right. And
Yeah.
like I said, shut the TV off. All right. And put the dance music on and take 10 or 15 minutes and just take some of the stuff, throw it in a garbage bag. It doesn't belong to you, and put it out at the curb. All right. Even
Okay.
if it's 1 bag a week, you are doing something about it. Then go sit down and watch
Okay.
TV or whatever.
And then the mind goes with, I could be selling that at a garage sale.
Yeah, well, why aren't you doing it? So,
Exactly.
all right. So, put it outside, start moving it outside
Okay,
and, put it outside. Either it's garbage or it's sellable, separate
okay,
it. And then put it outside and say free, $2, whatever.
okay,
And people coming by will be like knocking on your door. Okay, I'll give you $5 for this. Great. Put a thing on Craigslist, or wherever in your
Okay.
area and get rid of it. You don't
Okay.
need it. It's yelling, help, bring me to somebody who needs me.
now I know, and I keep saying, come show me, somebody get over here who needs this. And
Mhm.
I've given a lot away, and there's still, some little, yeah, it's still there, some of it. Okay,
Right.
thank you.
So, yeah,
The
you got to
process will help.
motivate. Oh, yes. Definitely it helps everybody, but you got to motivate yourself too, because we can do all the processes in the world, but if you don't get out of the chair,
Right,
you'll never move. You can't eat if you're stuck in a chair, So that's the thing. But why doesn't all these practices work for us?
Thank you,
Because
Linda.
we're corded into beliefs and emotions and feelings, and that's why it doesn't work for us. So that answers that big question we were asked earlier. Why isn't this working for me? I've done clearings and modalities and went through all kinds of clearings that I did with people. I try to clear my environment. I try to clear these nasty relationships that keep showing up. My money problems keep showing up. We're corded into it. And so it becomes a pattern. We don't even know what these cords are, and we've cut them. I thought we did that. Didn't we do that? Why do I still have it? And some people get mad at the healer. They will express that anger and blame it on the healer. The healer didn't do anything for me if it came back. I've heard all these stories. I'm like, wow, you're blaming me because you didn't take action, or that happened to you again because you went back with the man. That's not my fault. I was getting blamed for all their stuff. And I'm like, I got to break that cord off of me where they were blaming me. So look at your life and what the patterns are. Are they positive in one area, negative in another? Look at the negative ones. We got the positive ones down pat, but the negative ones where you don't like this, it don't belong to you. I want you to know it isn't yours. It's someone else's. Okay. So we want to actually talk about what steps can we all take. All right. There's 3 good ones that we all must do in order to start seeing results in our life. All right. Now, lots of fun today. we could have 3 more calls with this because it's so good. First of all, we have all worked on our minds, right? On clearing the unconscious beliefs. We've all done it, everybody here, all right? Then we did spiritual work, all right? Meditations, affirmations, all that kind of spiritual work, candles, saging, music, trying all this stuff, okay? And we worked on that. Then we worked on our bodies, trying to get them healthy and free of pain or whatever's going on, okay? Illness, disease. So we did that. Now what happens? We have lived many lifetimes, rather through our own experiences or through our ancestors, okay? So whatever your belief is, if you believe I lived many lifetimes, or you don't, your ancestors have lived it. So it is now your DNA, hereditary, things like this, all right? So it's in your soul. We all have soul records, right? People forgot they were looking at karmic records. I'm like, what about our soul records? Our soul is who we are. We have lived before, either through us or through the ancestral lineage. So I'm looking at 2 embryos coming together. And then we were put into somebody's body, right? So now we have that mom and dad's DNA and all their information added into all the lifetimes we ever lived. So it's a soul record. So the soul, like I say, has incarnated several lifetimes, all right? It keeps all the information. So it becomes like a soul record, and your soul doesn't forget. It holds all the information, all the stories, all the imprints, all right? So now you, your soul, are living in this lifetime with all that cording. We're going to call it cording today. And you're tangled up in it. Now you come in this lifetime, you get all that added in from your parents, your family, experiences, you know, whatever it was, environments, everything added in. And you're clearing all the mind, clutter. And then you come in and try and clear all your spiritual clutter and all your body clutter. But your soul is like, wait a minute. I'm down here with 50, belief systems with 100 lifetimes in that area. So people are like frustrated. That is not clearing. So now it's in the soul record, right? So what happens now is we want to get back to our original, right, self, our divine self, who we were from the very first incarnation. We were free like the universe. We didn't have none of this at all. And we added it into our being, into our mind, our spirit, our soul, our body. It all gets added in like we're carrying suitcases. And we're letting go of some of the stuff. But your soul's like, I still remember this. I still remember that as you're going on. So that's what we're dealing with, the soul. And it starts eating away like termites. You can't see them, but they're eating away under the surface. And we're trying to clear it and it's not clearing, or it's coming back because your soul's like, but you still have a cord to this and you got a cord to that. And we're looking at karmic records and, belief systems. So I've been through all that and helping people. And then I'm like, what is it? And I really dove deep into it. And I started getting, like I said, heavy downloads about this is what it is. I'm going to show you visuals. I'm going to give you dreams. You're going to write notes. And I have 3 notebooks full of these notes. And I condensed them for the call. But in your soul are the records of the roots of these things. So think about Christmas lights and you take them out next year and they're all tangled up. We're tangled up like that. Right? Tangled into all these lifetimes, all these people, all the experience, all the smells, all the colors, So when you come in this lifetime, you might be like, ooh, I can't stand that smell. And other people like, that smells really good. you see? So you're like, why don't I like that smell? I should like that. And you don't. Why don't I like that color? All these things happen. So we're like looking at these details now into the soul. So the soul is your record keeper of everything. So as you're clearing stuff out, your soul's like, good, good, you're working on that. That's great, and you'll get inspiration sometimes, like divine inspiration. Okay. Like something's still going on. I've done all this work. Why ain't it happening? And this is why it's in your soul record. So your soul record is what we want to look at, and we want to clear that because it's secretly like siphoning us, and it's not your fault. And these things are not ours. They never were. They never were intended to be ours. Look at the universe. It's abundant, right? Go outside. It's abundant, right? With trees and grass and flowers and birds. It's abundant. There's no, limit there. And we were taught to limit things, don't ask that, that's too much to ask. No, it isn't. Ask big, ask bigger, get stronger in yourself and say, okay, all right. So if you have a financial problem, a relationship problem, a health problem, that's in your soul record. All right. So your, family might have, an illness. I'm not even going to name them, an illness. And you come in and you're like, oh, everybody in my family has that illness now. And then you start getting symptoms of it. And now you're scared. You might not even have the illness. You're just like courting into their problem. And it's similar. So now you got an energy around you of fear of getting it. And then you feel the symptoms and you don't even have the problem. And so we look at that as, I want to help. I want to help heal my family. So some of us have come in to heal that issue. So you have, understood it now by being coded into it, we'll say. And you're the light worker, the healer. And you're like, I come here to heal that. From my soul first, So we want to break that cord, okay, at the root of it and take it out of you and wherever it came from, okay? And we're going to clear that and work on these things, all right? Now, some of the health problems are healable, all right? Everything is solvable. But there are some people, and I've dealt with them, that are on a social security. So they don't want the pain or the sickness or the problem. But if you heal it and get rid of it, what will happen? Right? They fear of losing their income. But the universe is saying, lose that income. I give you a bigger one. Now you can work. So you see the beliefs that, people embed, and it's all cords to fear, cords to worry, cords to what, and where'd they come from? Out of the blue? No, we learned it from our experiences and we collected it into our soul. So you can clear your.
Yeah. So Marlena, can you do a process to dissolve some cords that we've talked about today on the call? Or a general one or something?
Yep. And I also want to do the prosperity booster because right now, the news, we don't need to talk about it, but people are in fear, and worry. And like I said, things are coming up to be healed and cleared. So whatever that is for you, that's coming up to be healed and cleared, it will not leave until you get to the soul matter of it. Right. So we want to do a process for prosperity. All
So
right.
Marlena, before you do the process, can you just make sure you don't play music, because then
Oh no, I'm not gonna. I know about
Okay.
YouTube.
Yeah, awesome.
The only thing I would ever do on YouTube is my sound bowls that I'm holding in my hand. They don't say nothing about that. They just don't want us playing songs we hear on the radio, something like that. You can play your guitar. But yeah, so let's go and look at our number one issue. All right. Just name one word, like health, relationship. Don't blame nobody.
Yeah. Health,
Not-
relationship, money.
Yeah. Yeah. So your health, your relationships, whatever is going on in your life. All right. But the two really important ones are money and health, really. Relationships, they come when you have more of joy, right? And when you feel good. So in order to feel good, you got to let go, number one. So first we got to admit there's a problem, okay? These are like 3 steps and I don't want to forget them. Admit there's a problem, okay? And then believe there is a solution, okay? And take determined action, all right? You must be committed, okay, to getting, you know, a breakthrough, a miracle. All right, so you will be committed, okay, to resolving it when you see the value in solving it. If you don't see a value, you won't do it. You won't take action. All right, you'll just sit there and say, well, that sounds nice and I like it. But, and there's a story. So we want to look at that. Is it of value to you to clear that, right? Such as, I am hungry, all right? Will food solve that problem? Yes. So what do I need to do? I need to go get food, right? If you have a financial problem, will more money solve that problem? Yes, right? Yes, it will. So we want to solve it, all right? By going to take action and getting more money. If you're in a bad relationship, will breaking off with this person solve that problem? Yes. Why aren't you taking action, right? You're tolerating like I did. So these are some of the things we want to look at. And is it valuable to you to feel healthy, successful, right? Having a better relationship story. Is that valuable to you? That's what the universe is asking. So right now we want to look at that soul imprint, that story that's in there, right? And the soul's going to start talking to you. All right, is it valuable to you? The soul wants to know. If I heal that, if we could heal that, which we can, would it be of value to you? Why or why not? Okay. And is that your problem? Or did you get it from someone else? Are you corded into that problem where you're afraid to let that problem go? Why are you afraid to let it go? What good is it doing for you right now? Having no money, having all the clutter in the world. What good is it doing for you to be in a bad relationship? What good is it to you to have that health problem? Is it serving you? It's calling you. Pay attention to me. This is not yours. It never was. So we're going into that soul imprint. And we must ask these questions and answer them honestly. So what imprint is there that's coming out for you because you are an individual? What's stopping you from being in your own authentic self? All right. It's not somebody else. It's not their story. It's not their problem. They did not do it. All right. These are the things we must look at. We must look at, where did it come from? Okay. Why do I have it? Why won't it leave? Am I holding it? Do I like it? There's a lot of this stuff that we want to really look at and say, this is not even my stuff. Why am I carrying this anyway? What do I need this for? So the soul is talking and it's repeating itself back and forth to us. So we're going to look at the soul. We're going to start to clear some of that for each person here. I'm hearing the word dynamic, dynamic dual. So we want to bring in angelic assistance here for this group here, clearing all that imagination. There's a lot of imagination. Imagination could be a good thing and not a good thing. Imagine if you did not have that issue right now. How would you feel? Awesome. Wonderful. Excited, jumping up and down, yelling, right? That's how we should feel. Why aren't you feeling that? Because there's another layer of stories rooted in there. So we want to grab that. Why aren't you feeling that? Everybody's story come up to the surface. And let's grab some of that energy and emotions, those cords to that, and take them out at the root right now as we can. There's a lot of emotional beliefs here that need to be worked on. So we're going to allow that process to continue coming to the surface. And as it does, I am asking that as the thoughts are coming up, you can say, thank you for showing up. Now I can heal you. Instead of, flipping out when it does arise, because I'm pulling them out, okay? So when they come up today, tomorrow, all of a sudden you get that thought of something. Just say, oh, thank you for showing up, instead of going into a fear mode or worry, or why is it here? It's coming up to be healed, okay? So that's that. We're going to let that keep working on everyone and bringing in a soothing energy to replace it as it leaves with the soul, as it's cleansing, to get back to the state of being in that area that it was intended to be in the first place. Yay. So we're going to allow that to happen. I'm seeing, like, if you know what knobs look like knobs on a dresser drawer. So I'm seeing a bunch of like the ends of the cords. I can see the inside where they're corded into people. And they're like knobs that go through the body. So they're like inside people. So that's what we're working on today. And so the energy wants to stop working in that area for people. And now let's do a beautiful process to bring some prosperity, right, into all of us, like a booster of prosperity. Is everybody ready for more prosperity? Prosperity could be anything. It's not always money, right? Abundance is not always money, but we will boost up the money as well. So what is in the way of you receiving prosperity right now? Whatever that is, let's clear it now. Let's clear all that energy around prosperity for you. And if you have family in your home, clearing all that energetics as well. Clearing all that vibration, that low vibration that's masking the truth. Let's clear that right now and bring in a boost of energy, motivation, joyful, playful, successful energy into you right now. Where you can play with money, and money is a tool. So think of, so let's remove all them reasons why you're sad about money. and boost it up to, I'm happy to have that. Let's have that right now. Let's have that belief right now and that thought. That is a good thought. What can I do with this money that's coming to me right now? I already have the money. It's on its way to me right now. Here comes the money. Here comes the money. And everybody's going to get some money. I know it. I believe it. I don't know if it's $5, $1 you're going to find on the ground, a gift from somebody, an increase somewhere, but more money's coming. I want to hear about it. So more money's coming. What good can I do with this money? For myself, number one. What can money do for me? Let's have that. What can money do for me? I am good with money. I love money. Money loves me. I am a money magnet. I receive money all the time. Boost up that right now. Boost it in. New belief into them right now. Let's override all the negative thoughts they're having right now about money. And some are worrying, will it really show up? Yes, it will. Allow it now. All that resistance to having money, clear away right now at the root. Boost it up. I don't care. About the stories, like Alara spoke, regardless of those old beliefs, because they're gone. They're the past. The past is gone. We're in the here and now. Whew. Come back into your body, all the way back in. There's a lady on the call. Her name starts with an S. I'm not looking. My eyes are closed. Get back in your body. It's going to be okay. Get back in your body. I don't know if you're here now or you're on a replay, but get back in your body. All the way back in. I'm assisting you now to get back in. Get back in. And the other person that is asking about their health issues and will they ever clear and why do I have them? I hear you. Get back in your body. Allow yourself to receive change and assistance and not worry, why do I have it? Why? Let's clear all the whys. We no longer need to ask the question. We're happy and grateful for the wonderful experience, the pain in all of it, the fear in all of it. Thank you so much, universe. It's been a hard journey. But right now, the healing go through the mind, the body, the soul, the spirit. And start to remove the resistance to perfect health and harmony. And why it's there, and move the cords. Start detaching from the why. Detaching from the illness and the pain and the restrictions. Working deep muscle work there. Deep muscle work. And back pain. We love your back pain, but you gotta go. Your time is up. I know a couple people on this call have back issues, so we're going to start to remove some of that energetics and the patterns to it. And all the cords to having back pain. All right. In the back of the leg, the upper leg, behind the knee, there's a pressure point there. That's where the pain comes from into the lower back. It's like a meridian point. So if you press on that on either side, you may feel pain there that you never felt before. So if it's there, pain body, we are dissolving you now and all the reasons why you ever showed up. And we're going to work around the legs and knees to get the legs moving again, get us grounded into the new earth, the new prosperity, the new wealth with excitement, and allowing ourselves to receive all the prosperity that belongs to us and always did. We are prosperous beings. We know who we are. We know why we came here. And the prosperity belongs to each and every one of us. The wealth belongs to each and every one of us. There's enough to go around. There's no shortage of money. There's no shortage of joy. So the more joy, the more money. How much joy do you want? You want more joy, you got it. More joy, more money. More joy, better relationships. More joy, better health and well-being. The more joy you can allow in right now, allow that joy to come in, because here it comes. More joy, more joy, more joy, and even more joy into the solar plexus right now. Open those solar plexus, allowing joy in there. J-O-Y, I'm writing it right in there. I'm writing it on your hearts, J-O-Y. Joy, more joy into your heart. Higher income levels now. Incredible breakthroughs. Experience it in your embodied state of being. And anything feeling like you're being crushed down, pressed down, can't move, no energy, foggy brain, confusion. We are removing that now, because that was in the way from everything we have experienced. All right. And all the stress around the worry and the fear and the stories and the illness, the negative words spoken that cause the stress, the experiences that cause the stress, the words we heard that cause stress, the falls we had that cause trauma and stress, the memories. Let's remove them now, and let's allow peace and harmony into our crown chakra, into the mind, into the shoulder blades and neck, and going down the body, all through the arms and legs and toes and fingers. Get back into your empowered state of being. Even if you don't see it on the outside yet, allow it healing on the inside of you, so you can experience it on the outside of you. Beautiful energy flowing through each and every person, whether they're here or they were on the line or they're coming in. Everyone is going to receive this in a big way. I am waiting for testimonials, because I feel them. I feel somebody got shaken from their core during this. There was a thing in there that had to go. I'm not going to name what it was. Enough, right? The energy is high and high vibing. And now I'm going to ask that everyone who hasn't laughed in a really long time to crack a smile, regardless. Smile regardless of how you feel right now. Smile anyway. It raises your vibration. It raises up your energy field. It starts to clear some of the acid in your body, some of the stress that we stuffed in somewhere. Let's clear all that right now on all levels, for all reasons. And is very valuable, because you are valuable. Value your joy. Value your smile. Value your body. Value your money. Value your home, your apartment. Value everything you got, that you received at that vibration that you were at then. All right. And let's not match that anymore. You are now at 2 levels up from where you were when we began this call. You are no longer who you were an hour and a half ago. You are back in your body, stay in your body. You can do this. You are stronger than you know. You are loved beyond any love you would ever imagine. You are not alone. You will never be alone. There is support everywhere. You can reach out and grab that help. And let's have that now. Let's allow ourselves to receive all the real help and real support and real love and real self-worth come back into you now. And allow that to happen. I'm going to come out of the meditation that I was just in. That was deep, deep, deep. And I'm going to take a nice drink and allow Alara to talk. It's your turn, honey.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, that was powerful. That was deep. And some of you may still be feeling, processing, feeling a lot of energies in your body, but let us know how that was for you. Type it in the chat. And in the meantime, as you're typing in the chat, as you're coming back to being in your body, being functional, I suppose you could say.
That's right.
Yeah, let's take a moment and talk also about the packages that Marlena has for us. I'm going to share the screen. And these are brand new packages. Package A and package B. Package A is 6 easy shift process techniques, tracks, sorry. And see, I still can't talk yet. And 30 days of remote healing. And package B is everything in package A, plus a quick connect session of 30 minutes with Marlena to work with her. So Marlena, briefly, can you just go over some of these tracks and both of the packages? Just if you're, if you can talk again or not, I'm not sure.
I'm getting there. Yeah, so the first track that came to me was a quick and easy, process we can all do every single day in 3 minutes. We can all take 3 minutes, okay? I don't care what your schedule is. You could be a workaholic and, busy mom, and you could turn that right on. So what happens with this is we quickly get back into our center, all right? So we get grounded and we get back into our center. We get kicked out all the time out of our center. We come ungrounded. So that's what that is for. You're going to align really quick. It works. I was listening to these again last night. Track 2 is very powerful and strong. I want to make that clear. I am going through the entire body and energy system. I'm removing everything that is contrary to your most empowered state of being. We're restoring your entire energy back to your original embodied presence. So you're going to get some tingles or some energy shifts with this. I am doing an Om sound as I'm working through it. And I think it's about 46 minutes. So you can lay down and do it. Just lay there and receive, nothing you have to do but receive. Be a receiver, okay? I'm an excellent receiver. Track 3, Alara, my reconnected healing process. All right, this is the one that must be really powerful here for people. What we want to do is restore your divine original clarity, okay? So I'm putting in my 24-karat gold infusion, which quickly shifts you, all right, back into your higher self embodiment. So you are going to be returned to your divine, unlimited, abundant self, who you are meant to be, originally. Okay. So we are definitely getting rid of every cord just in these easy tracks. Okay. Track 4, instant magical positive focus. All right. So you're going to start getting a positive mindset and your vibration. All right. So you may want to use this every day or every other day, this track here as well. It's going to cause universal alignment with miraculous manifestations. This track has given several testimonials. So I write in here, testimonials will be your experience. So some of you need to use it every day, all right? And get your alignment back, okay? Get your mindset back, get your vibration back with the universe and not these cords, okay? So that's that. And then track 5 will assist that, breaking negative patterns, okay? So I'm going to be working on healing every area of your life, okay? Dealing with finances, relationship, your health. It's going to resolve those issues the reasons why they're there, the traumas, resistant to letting go, the patterns in your family, DNA, I clear entities, attachments, ancestral stuff, and the mind, okay? We're gonna just breathe and allow for the reset, okay, back to you, instead of carrying all their junk, okay, and the entities that love to follow around negative, you know, vibes or negative thoughts. We want to get rid of that. Thank you. Track 6 is one that I don't know if anyone's doing, but it was brought to me to heal our light body, and it's rather quick. This session here. So we're clearing the light body from all the times that you were attacked or harmed energetically, physically, psychically, which dimmed your light body. And we're going to restore your light body back to its optimal condition. So this package is meant to restore us back to our original state of being. All right. And you're going to feel it. It's like an easy shift. And I want to get you shifted out of whatever that heaviness is, whatever the story is. It's not yours, and it never was. So why do we want to bring it with us into the future? We want to march forward with high vibing, all right? Regardless. My new word is regardless. Okay. Yeah. I
Good.
picked it up last month when things kept coming with Mercury retrograde. I'm like, regardless of that just happened, I am happy and grateful. And I take a walk and I sing, and you know, stuff was really happening bad. And I'm like, but I'm not responding to you. I haven't got time for that. And I just kept my vibe up, and people were calling me, and healers were calling me during the past 2 months, and I was helping them heal, and they were assisting me. So it was like, I didn't say I need help or anything. I wasn't in that mindset anymore. I was just in, I haven't got time for that. I go outside and enjoy. And then for package B, everybody gets everything in A. And then B, we're going to do a 30-minute one-on-one. And we're going to connect with your energy. Okay. I am very intuitive. I can see into your mind. I can see into your body, whatever needs to be done. I'm going into the root of it. I don't care where it came from, what it is. I'm bringing that solution. I'm going after the energy in the soul. That's what we want to clear. So if you have a financial problem, we're going into the root of it that's in your soul. And we're going to pull that, you know, cord out of there, and we're going to replace it, okay, with the truth. And if it's a relationship pattern, you find yourself in all bad relationships, or you can't find a relationship, we want to get in there and find out why. All right. There's a cord there. Okay. There's the why. Let's pull it out. Right. Illness, pain, whatever it is, sickness, we're going into the root. And I want to tell people that I am not one of those, what do you want to call it? Healers for health or whatever. It just happens. So people get healed. I don't even know, you know, what it is. And I'm just like, let's just quickly connect to that energy cord, and let's quickly remove it and solve it. There is a solution for every problem. All right. And we have to be alert that there is a solution. And is it valuable enough to you to solve it? Right? You're either committed, or you just think that would be nice. So, you know, so there's the package.
And I just want to add to that both packages also include 30 days of remote healing.
Yes, thank you. I'm looking at your screen. So yeah, so I am gifting everybody with 30 days of remote healing, where I'm just sending out energy once in the morning and once in the evening for everyone for a whole month. So, you know, we're starting on like the 7th of March. It will go on until April 7th for
Awesome.
that, you know, so awesome.
Awesome, awesome. And so both sorry, both packages, where do I have that written down? Both packages have 2 and 3 point payment plans available. And if you are an Inner Circle member, please don't forget to use your 10% or 25% discount code. That's a special gift from me. I know there's some questions or some comments in the chat. 1 second. These must be the testimonials from everybody. I love it.
I love it too.
Chris says, intense crying. Thank you so much, clarity. Annie says, thank you, Marlena. You're a beautiful soul. Jill says, thank you for the meditation. Marlena, you identify the back pain I carry as well as the pain in upper leg and behind the knee. That was me. Very right on. Oh, wow. Cool. Tina says, very powerful at end when you said to smile or started crying deeply. That's something else that was deep. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, good. Galaxy or Arietta, thank you, Marlene. Beautiful process. Good. And Tina says, we'll be listening again. Kept having to get off Zoom and back on again. Oh dear. Okay, but yes, definitely listen again for sure. It'll be on the replay. And I know Linda Leg, I don't know if I'm saying her name right, but Linda had her hand raised, but it's down now. So was there something you wanted to add, Linda, or say?
No, I just pushed it by mistake. Thank
Okay,
you. Thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you.
And yes, I relieve back pain too. Thanks. Carrying all that stuff around.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. All right, and so this is the link, of course, for the special offer page, but it'll be in all the emails and it'll be on the YouTube. So Marlena, any last words of wisdom before we go?
Yeah, just, you know, wow, the biggest thing is be who you are, right? Be who you are authentically, right? Yeah, don't ask, what is my purpose? You know your purpose. You're doing it right now. I want you to know you are doing it right now. So if you're a school teacher, a bus driver, whatever, an author, a speaker, you're doing your purpose. If you're a mom and you're a single mom and you don't feel like you're doing anything, you're doing your purpose. That's your purpose, to be a loving mom, to nurture those beings that were sent to you as beautiful gifts. All right. And think about yourself right now. How beautiful do you feel? All right. You are beautiful. You are magnificent. You are now worry-free. You're carefree. You're back in your body. Stay in your body. All right. And I'm hoping to get some more of this package, you know, the second scenario, we'll call it the next series, which will be even more empowered because we are moving up. We're not staying down where we were before. We're not limited like before. We're beyond that learning thing. Why is this? Why is that? We're beyond that. The universe is like, skip all that, get in the present, stay in your body, stay grounded and focused on what is your goal. What is your goal?
Linda wrote in the chat, I'm enough without the stuff.
Thank you. I like that. Now we're going to send the angelic cleaners over to all your homes right now and help you clear that clutter. I don't know what the clutter is. It could be emotional clutter or physical clutter, but I'm going to send the angels over there while we are, you know, on the call connected, and
Awesome.
ask the angels to connect with you and your energy and help you to clear all that clutter.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We could definitely use the help. We can definitely use the help. Thank you.
Yeah, and more joy, everyone.
Yes. Beautiful. Thank you. That was awesome. That was so powerful. Such a powerful call and totally different way of looking at chords. So thank you so much for all that wisdom. About that. Will definitely, it's something definitely that you want to look into. You want to work with Marlena if you can, to finally get rid of some of those chords that have been there for eons that you've tried clearing, healing, nothing's worked. Or maybe it's these chords that are corded into your soul. So it's time to let that go. We're not here to be stuck anymore. We're here to thrive. We're here to move forward. We're here to create our lives with ease and joy and fun and grace. So it's time to do that. Also, I'm not the stuff. Definitely not. You're not the stuff. So yes, I'll be sending out the replay in a little while, but thank you so much, everyone.
Thank
you all. Thank you for all your questions, comments, feedback. Wonderful, wonderful. And thank you, Marlena, for another fabulous call with us today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll be back tomorrow. So until next time, everyone, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all much love and blessings always. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.